This building was lost by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints 186 years ago. In the 1830s, this building was built by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and only 2 years after it was built, I'm talking about 1836, is when it was built, and in 1838, because of persecution, the church was driven out of Kirtland and had to go to a new location. As a result, what had happened was the church ended up losing the rights to this building and weren't able to come back. And then what had happened was the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a break off of this church, or the Latter-day Saint Church, the main branch, ended up buying the rights to this building and have been the ones that have been preserving it and keeping it in order and taking care of it. Well, I'm making this video to let you know that today is the day the Latter-day Saint Church owns the Kirtland Temple again. This is exciting because I actually serve my mission in Ohio, and I just wanted to go through this article with you because for me it's like a celebration to be able to have the Kirtland Temple back. I remember serving in 2003 to 2005 and always wondering when would it be that the Kirtland Temple would be back in the hands of the main church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, something cool to note about the Kirtland Temple is that, just to give you some context, the Kirtland Temple was built out of poverty. When the Kirtland Temple was built, it was built when saints had come from across the ocean to America to join with the Latter-day Saint Church. The church wasn't very new. I mean, it was 1830 that it had been established, and then the Kirtland Temple was actually built, or at least finished, by 1836. When people were coming, they were literally sacrificing everything they knew from Europe to come here. And then there's folks that came from Canada, there's folks that lived in New York as well, that came to Kirtland, to Ohio, to join with the saints. And a lot of them didn't have money. They sacrificed everything, so they had to have homes built for them. Well, then the prophet Joseph Smith gets this commandment to build the temple. And when the temple was commanded to be built, they literally, I mean, the perspective I have is that they didn't even have 2 pennies to rub against each other. So they build this temple with faith. They were able to get the materials to start constructing the temple. They did the planning, and they didn't even have really proper plaster to make the walls of the temple. So they used china even. And after the temple was completed, they dedicated the temple. And this is where the miracle actually happens. A lot of the saints actually write in their journals what happened that day. And some of those things that they wrote is that they saw angels, that people spoke in tongues. They were able to speak in tongues. And there were many things that actually they saw that weren't written down because how sacred and special the moment was. So it's just exciting to think that now the church has this temple again within our hands, and essentially it's going to be taken care of really well because the church has the means to be able to do that. For those that don't know, the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a complete separation and a complete break-off, and now they call themselves the Community of Christ. But they've had a good relationship with the Latter-day Saint Church, and as a result have been able to arrange this deal to be able to purchase back the Kirtland Temple, along with some other historic documents. So I'm going to read this article and just kind of go through this with you. So here we have responsibility and ownership of sacred sites and historic documents transferred to the Church of Jesus. This is a long title. Not really my thing, but let's go ahead and go through. It looks like, I'm not sure exactly when this happened, but I did previously read this article, and I could tell that back in June in 2021 is when this actually started to actually occur. So it's exciting to think that this is a thing now. It's done. So today, Tuesday, March 5th, 2024, the responsibility and ownership of the Kirtland Temple and several historic buildings in Nauvoo and various manuscripts. So it's not just the Kirtland Temple. There's some other historic buildings and manuscripts that were transferred from the Community of Christ to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for an agreed upon amount. So that is awesome. Together we share an interest in reverence in these historic sites, and items are committed to preserving them for future generations. I wonder what that manuscripts and those other buildings were. Discussions leading to this landmark agreement commenced in June 2021. This exchange of assets is significant for our church, said Stephen M. Veasley. I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like he's president of the Community of Christ. Through the funding from increased endowments, Community of Christ will have greater capacity to pursue their mission of priority, or our mission of priorities. I guess that's what Stephen is saying, around the world, including continuing to fulfill the divinely envisioned purposes for our temple and Independence, Missouri. So I guess they wanted to have more funds to take care of their temple and Independence. I don't know if you know what that looks like. It looks kind of like a swirl. That's the reorganized church's temple. And, I don't know if this is really what's happened, but the impression I'm getting is that maybe they wanted more funding to run their church, and they might be running out. I'm not sure how many members are actually in the reorganized church. In fact, I'm curious, membership number of reorganized church. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there's like 250,000. Not a lot. So either the church is dwindling and running out of members, and they needed some money to take care, or something else is going on. So the church has 250,000 members and 1,100 congregations. Not knocking their church at all. They are a break off of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're I'm not even sure what their beliefs are. At one point, they believed in the Book of Mormon. I mean, they believed in the Book of Mormon from the beginning. I'm not sure if they're at a point where they've denounced the Book of Mormon. I've got the internet here. It'd be really interesting, Christ Church, if they denounced it. Let's see. Is second canon of Scripture. Okay, well, maybe they believe it. I don't know. Oh, so they have not denounced. So they do believe in the Book of Mormon still. So that's cool. I wonder. Over the years, I've wondered. I think I've heard things that their beliefs about. I guess I'm not exactly sure, but some of their beliefs have changed. So either way, so let's go back to this article. Here we go. And there's the Kirtland Temple. Okay, so so they've been talking about this since June. They're deeply honored to assume the stewardship. So yeah, we're deeply honored to assume the stewardship in these sacred places, documents, and artifacts. Russell M. Nelson, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, said, and then we thank our friends of the Community of Christ for their great care and cooperation. When I served my mission in Ohio, I got to go through the Kirtland Temple, and that was the first place that we went to. All missionaries of the Cleveland, Ohio mission, they get a chance to go to the Kirtland Temple and to the historic site and take a tour. I had the privilege of having the stake patriarch, who was a historian of the Kirtland Temple. He actually wrote this book, and you could actually get it, I think, on Amazon. But either way, basically, he took us through the temple and toured us through the whole thing. In fact, there's a really cool 3D, virtual tour that you can get. I'm probably not going to pay for it myself, but it's just kind of cool to, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and, you can see the whole temple through here. It's kind of an experience. It's got 3 levels, And I'm not sure what the top floors were for. I think they were for meeting rooms. I think the Community of Christ has done some other stuff with the top floor of the temple. I remember it being very clear. There was nothing, no furniture. There were basically empty rooms. So it was basically just being preserved and taken care of. And to think they spent all these years taking care of the temple, while I don't know that they've used it for anything. They literally were spending the money to take care of the temple for us. And there are some cracks in the building. I'm not sure if there's going to be renovations done. Currently, there's renovations being done on the Salt Lake Temple. The Provo Temple is now going to be under renovation. In fact, I think it's being reconstructed. So it's a completely new temple that's going to be coming. And we just got an Orem temple. I actually live close to Orem, and so it's a lot of exciting things that are going on right now in regards to temples. Let's go back to the article and see if there's anything else here that we can pull. So I think, yeah, it looks like the Kirtland Temple is going to remain a historic building. It's going to reopen in this month. So it's for public tours. So that's pretty ambitious. I guess they're not really planning on doing any corrections. And let's see here. So likewise in Nauvoo, with the Smith family homestead, the mansion, the house, the red brick store, all of those will open on the same day and will be available for public tours, no charge. And that is really wild. I wonder, it just leaves me, so the Provo Tabernacle became this is an interesting story. The Provo Tabernacle became a temple, which is now the Provo City Center Temple. And if you don't know this story, basically, somehow it had caught on fire and it burnt down to the ground. The foundation was still there, the basic bricks were still there, but really everything inside it was completely destroyed, except for one image of Christ that actually survived the fire, which was a phenomenal, miraculous miracle. I don't know how to best describe it, but basically that was the only thing that survived. And so they rebuilt that into the Provo City Center Temple. I wonder if they're in the future going to do that. I believe and actually am confident that the Lord's going to come again. And it makes me wonder if they are going to just use this for, open houses. They can do tours in it. But at some point, maybe when the church does start building a temple in Missouri, the temple in Adamon-Diamond, which is a special place for us as Latter-day Saints, I wonder if they're going to be building that up. And around that time, they're going to go ahead and dedicate this temple for actual use. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this temple was kind of like a preparatory temple. It was maybe kind of like a tabernacle in some sense. It was used mostly for meetings, where today we actually do work in the temple. And so this is an exciting thing, some really great news. If you're excited with me, go ahead and leave a like. And if you don't know why I've started this channel and why I make these videos, I would love for you to just go ahead and, watch this video right here and, look forward to hearing, I keep saying, anyway, look forward to seeing more of you guys in the future. We'll talk to you soon.